I come on behalf of the National Bar Association as its president, representing 66,000 black lawyers, judges, and legal professionals in America and beyond, and represent the largest association of lawyers of color. I come to you on a campaign that we believe One National Bar Association preserving our legacy and protecting our future. And now more than ever, we have to fight to protect our future and make sure the gains that we made during the civil rights struggle are not taken back. And so we're completely focused on that model, preserving our legacy and promoting and protecting our future, especially our young people. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge two very special guests that we have with us this morning, and I am indebted to him. We have a big meeting, as I was telling Patrick, over at North Carolina Central Law School in conjunction with Duke University Law School, the Wiley Branton Symposium. And as many of you know, Wiley Branton was the local attorney in Little Rock, Arkansas, representing the Little Rock now with Thurgood Marshall and NAACP brought the Brown versus Board of Education. And as I understand it, more and more these days, Nicholas, you know, you visit communities and you have these very, very profound conversations, and then I get on the plane and I go home. And Wiley Branton had to stay there a little while. And he was a great leader for that community, and then became the dean of Howard's Law School in later years. But what was very fascinating for us in the National Bar Association, Dean Branton always challenged us to focus. So every year we would have a Wiley Branton Symposium at our institution of higher education, and we would focus on a singular issue. And this year the issue was voting rights. And so it was a very, very good, in-depth conversation about all the things hopefully Nicholas and I will talk about this morning, dealing with voting, because this all ties together, this whole notion of how you keep certain status quo. And so we got to be honest with ourselves. It's a very deep, perplexing conversation we have to have this morning. But my special guest, he didn't think it robbery to come all the way from Charlotte and give the invocation and visit his father, I might add, in Durham, North Carolina, and that is Reverend Leonzo Lynch. Some of you all may know his sister, the first African-American female Attorney General of these United States, Loretta Lynch. Y'all please acknowledge Pastor Lynch. Ebenezer Church here, right here in Charlotte. And then young lady who I heard about, like I've heard about so many of these tragic situations of parents losing their children far too early. And just in the most unquestionable circumstances. And she was with us in North Carolina Central, and I was surprised and happy to see her this morning. Miss Claudia Lacey, who lost her son, and I know you've heard the story, in Blakenboro, North Carolina. He was 16 years old, found hung, and they tried to say it was suicide, and none of the evidence adds up to make any sense. And so she, like the mother of Trayvon Martin, the mother of Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, Eric Gardner, Eric Harris, Kendrick Johnson, Alicia Thomas, I mean, it goes on and on and on, has become the voice for her child in the quest for justice. frank conversation, I want to say to you, I do believe this in my heart of hearts. John Lennon, popular musician, said that there are no problems, only solutions. Well, I believe that there's a caveat to that, and that is there are no problems, only solutions if we work together. We have to work together. All the stakeholders in the community have to work together. The cross-test can't be verified by the civil rights community. Amen. Not to get too biblical revelation, but when they asked him if Jesus bear the cross along and all the rest of the world go free, God answered no. We must all bear our cross. So not just the civil rights leaders, but also the corporate leaders, also the education leaders, also the faith leaders. We all the stakeholders have to have a role in this. And as I get ready to take my seat in the chat, I want to tell you all about something that was profound to me this year when we were at the 50th anniversary of the Selma March in Alabama. We were there, Patrick, and the NAACP Legal Defense Fund had a panel. And you all may remember, this was only 8 days after the grand jury issued its finding in the Michael Brown case of Ferguson, Missouri. And Jay, it was so fresh in all our minds and all our hearts because we all saw Michael Brown lay out on that ground for over 4 hours and his body being disrespected, not only in life but in death. And as we sat on this panel with some of my real heroes, some giants, you had Congressman John Lewis and his mentor, Attorney Fred Gray, and Attorney Solomon Say, and all these older lawyers who represented not only Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, but Mr. Gray and his law partner Solomon Say also represented many of the marchers who were going across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And what they told me still sticks in my heart today, because I think they're telling the truth. We were all saying, how can it be in 2013 that an unarmed teenager could get killed in broad daylight, shot 7 times, broad daylight, by somebody who's supposed to protect and serve him, and nobody be held accountable. And it was, it was just raw emotion when we were at Selma, sitting on that panel. And, I was making this passionate plea. And Fred Gray, who I love and respect as one of the true leaders giants in America, said, well, Ben, when we came across that bridge, that Edmund Pettus Bridge, it wasn't the Ku Klux Klan who was beating the hell out of us and allowing dogs to attack our women and kicking our children. That was the police. And so 50 years later, why are y'all so shocked that it's still the police that are keeping the status quo? And that's how these old civil rights icons said it. What happened in Selma, Alabama 50 years ago was allowed to happen because the community stakeholders, the community leaders allowed it to happen. And as long as they're allowed to happen, it will continue to happen. And so, unless we have the community stakeholders in your community, in your state, say we're not going to allow this in our community, continue to happen. And brothers and sisters, you all have to remember, the police officers are the foot soldiers. They're at the bottom of the totem pole. I mean, there's so many